Good afternoon, Eurosatory. I hope you have all had something tasty for lunch. There was certainly some good nibbles up in the media centre that we all enjoyed before they went away. Continuing in our lineup of interviews today, we're about to speak to Ravinder Singh, who is president of the defence section of ST Engineering. Ravinder is going to provide us with some excellent insights, I'm sure, into ST Engineering's unique expertise. So, Ravinder, thank you very much for joining us. How are you doing? You okay?
I'm good. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Oh, anytime. Always happy to talk to innovative companies. So, we know that ST Engineering obviously has a very strong presence in Singapore. That's a given. But what is your strategy when you approach international business?
Okay, first of all, well, thank you again for the opportunity. ST, we've been doing defense business for 57 years and have actually sold to 100 countries. We have businesses in 5 domains: air, sea, land, cyber, as well as the digital space. So when we look at what we offer, there are really three drivers that makes, I think, ST Engineering defense products and solutions unique. The first is our products and solutions are meant for conscript military. So they're easy to use, simple to operate, very effective, and I think most importantly, easy to maintain in the battlefield. Secondly, we look at developing products and solutions that are force multiplier. And one good example is the Bronco, which we have on display here in Eurosatory. Our soldiers operate the Bronco with no civilian driving experience. They're able to drive it in a couple of weeks. And the platform is fully digitized so that we can really make bring the combat effect into the battlefield with the soldiers. And lastly, we make sure that our products and solutions are future ready. We are one of the largest 40mm producers, suppliers in the world. We have 58 variants. And we have now developed a world first rocket-propelled brick wall breaching round, which basically incorporates a small rocket motor into the 40mm round, allowing a soldier to shoulder launch the munition and then build up, using the rocket motor to build up the velocity and penetrate the wall and of course burst behind the wall. So these are the 3 drivers, and we continue to innovate and bring value, and want to make sure that the soldiers, sailors and airmen, they are effective in the battlefield.
And I understand you can see that grenade at the ST Engineering stand and hear a bit more about it there, right?
Yes, yeah.
Excellent. And I can speak as well from experience. I've actually driven Bronco on the snow, and it was very easy, very straightforward, and I was quite tired as well. So, obviously, ST Engineering, the defence business, is geared partly towards answering the needs of the Singapore Defence Forces. What do you think it is about meeting those needs that differentiates ST Engineering on the international market? You've touched a little bit on the conscript force and how that drives a lot of the development. But how else does it change ST as a company?
I think the other big driver is actually technology, in terms of digital technology and autonomous technology. So we believe that the future battlefield, and we're seeing it now, is becoming very digital and very autonomous. And so we have developed solutions that will make that difference. So first, we have a vehicle electronics architecture kit. The kit, you put it on the military land platform and gives you video, data, connectivity. And that's very important when you want to connect into a digital battlefield. You want to operate a manned and unmanned solution. The other area that we are working on is actually, again, first, a hybrid electric drive. Besides sustainability and better performance, our drop-in kits also bring a tremendous amount of power. In fact, just one of the systems that we have developed for the 4x4 gives as much power as 3 generators that you bring to the battlefield. And we know that power is going to be challenging and going to be important for the future, and that's what we're doing. The third area, of course, unmanned capability. So we build UAVs, USVs, and UGVs. In particular, for the USVs, we have made quite a bit of progress. In fact, we are working towards a fully autonomous mine countermeasure systems, which is completely operated from shore, which is all the AI, machine learning technology to enable that. And in fact, I'll just make a final point about our autonomous mast. So that's something that we have done. It brings a single mast put onto a manned small naval vessel, makes it autonomous. It controls, the navigation. It's able to conduct missions. And I think that's where ST Engineering brings in, technology, innovation to help in the future battlefield.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have a strong field definitely in AI and autonomy. So I suppose kind of what you're saying is the size of the Singapore Armed Forces and obviously the budget that they've got to work with mean that the things they buy have to last longer. And that's where that kind of drop in hybrid electric drive features, right?
Yeah, so actually that's a very innovative solution because we know that land platforms in particular, they remain in service for a long time. Right?
Yeah.
And so the drop-in kit allows militaries to upgrade their platforms, make it more sustainable, actually get better performance in terms of range. And I think more importantly, brings a lot of power. So it gives another, maybe 10, 20 years to the platform.
And I think as well, the digitalization of the military landscape is apparent. It is happening. The need to carry greater data, to connect the sensors that you have on the battlefield with the effectors. Every country with a large military is talking about that in some form or another. And that's an area as well that you have some expertise in, right?
Well, if you think of what the soldier brings to a battlefield today, right, they need a lot of battery and a lot of power to charge their comms devices, charge the sensors that they carry, the unmanned systems, the UGVs, the UAVs. So power is going to be really a key driver for digitization. And so we thought if we can combine the idea of a hybrid drive with battery power, bring it to the field so that every vehicle is not just better performing, but puts itself in a position where it can be part of a microgrid. And power, whether it's soldier system, the squad level system, or even a command post. If you think about the amount of power we have to bring into the future command post to manage all those sensors, all the shooters, bring in all the all the information, process it, and especially with AI, as you mentioned, generative AI and machine learning is going to be more and more important. So digitization, automation is one of the big drivers for us in ST Engineering.
So let's talk a little bit about artificial intelligence because I know that ST is presenting some of its AI here, some of the capabilities, and I think perhaps people here might not know that that's an area that ST is working on. And I think you've kind of set us up really nicely to talk about it because you can't have AI on the battlefield really without increased power, and that goes from kind of the command post all the way to the edge. So what are the technologies that are presented here, and what can you tell us about them?
Okay, so the first one we have is something called Agile Response. Actually, Agile Response is an AI system for command and control in the command post. And what the system does, it uses machine learning, generative AI models to take in data to help better understand the situation that's unfolding in the battlefield, and then is able to generate potential options and also a little bit of predictive analytics in terms of what may happen. So giving commanders the ability to manage large amounts of data, two, the ability to correlate, data from different sources, especially for intelligence. We can be swamped with all that data. And then three, giving the commanders options in terms of what can possibly be, the scenarios unfolding as well as the action they can potentially take. So that's one area. The other innovation that we have brought with us is something called the Agile Vision Box. It's quite innovative. It's a standalone plug-and-play box. Uses generative AI to scan live video feeds and is able to just simple natural language processing. So if you type something in English, it will look for the object in the image real time. It's also able to look at behaviors. So if you want to find an object, you'll find an object. But if you want to find certain behaviors, it's able to identify the behavior live and sort of flag it out. And that's the incredible power of AI and generative AI that can bring into the battlefield, allow combatants and commanders to use that. Last example I want to give you is the latest version of Terex, the Terex S5. So we've developed the 5th generation Terex. So not only is it fully digitized, but I think more importantly, we are actually bringing AI into the Terex S5 to help the soldiers and the operators have better situational awareness, both for driving, for fighting, and also for targeting. So the potential of AI is tremendous. I think we are only just beginning, and we'll probably see more and more of it in many of the systems.
I think the development of it is so key, and to finding out how it works and what it can actually do in a defense perspective. So it's really interesting that you've identified 3 different use cases that I think they could sit at different echelons on the battlefield, right?
Yes. And I think that's the strength of AI. So we're looking at not just AI in the command post, AI in the in the tactical command post, but also AI at the edge for the soldiers. So if you look at the Agile Vision Box, I think there's a lot of potential. I think every soldier is going to, or every level of echelon is going to be equipped with AI, especially as generative AI is evolving. There are many opportunities, and it's moving at a rapid pace, but also quite, I would say, we're able to deploy it quite effectively. So we're very excited. We see more of it coming into the battlefield, and helping soldiers in their operations.
And I imagine as well, kind of the close relationship with the end user is really helping you there. So
yeah, that's true. So the demand is increasing. I think a lot of the biggest challenge in a battlefield now is actually information overload. Right, with all the sensors that are proliferating, you're getting information in multiple dimension. Being able to correlate that data in real time, to make sense of it, and to not miss the information that's coming in. It's the vast amount of information coming in. I think AI and generative AI, machine learning is really the way to go. And I'm quite optimistic of how we can implement it in our solutions.
Well, Ravinder, thank you so much for your time. It's been a fascinating insight into ST Engineering's defense side of the business and everything that you've got going on there.
Well, thank you for your time, and a real pleasure talking to you.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you.